We're a couple of minutes early, but howdy from Vegas. Oklahoma. Hey, Cap Guy, what are you doing behind me? Well, let's see my mouth move if I'm up there. Oh, that's right. Welcome to the Cap Guy show, the second live show. The earlier one today was a test. And I don't know why I keep waving. Y'all can, never mind. Put my hand down. In a 3, 2, 1. Right, Cap Guy? Yeah. Oh, folks. I don't think you're here yet. There's nobody here yet, and I'm doing a video. I guess I got 2 minutes to wait. At least I got a clean room behind me. Yeah. We'll see if somebody joins here shortly. See, there we go. Yeah, a little better. I don't know if I want to be blinded by the light, wrapped up like, never mind. Oh, there's Lori. Hello, Lori. Can you hear me? Lori, can you hear me? Okay, good. First person in. Do-de-do-de-do. At least my room's cleaner than it was earlier today when I did the test. Do-de-do-de-do. Yeah, looks nice. Nicer. Well, there's a death pile over here on the other side of the stereo, though. But I'm working on it. I got 20 more listed today, so. Waiting for some people to come in. Oh, it says there's 5 people here. I don't know who's in here. Is there 5 people in here? Tell me who you are if you're in here. I show 6 people. Chat. Got to have something to talk about. There we go. Journey's here. Hello, Journey. And Miss Pittsburgh, Thrifting the Three Rivers. Hello. This is a JT and Cap Guy show from Vegas, y'all. We made it. All right, Oklahoma, never mind. Oh. No, you're nervous, Lissa. Karen's here. No one goes smoothly the first time trying live. You know what? I'm not nervous, Lissa. And hello, Journey, and Thrifting the Three Rivers. Lissa, Karen, Lori. Yeah, I'm not nervous. I do this every day live. I do it from the hip. I just don't do it live where y'all can chat back at me. You just make comments. And, of course, Lissa's, yours are kind of long. You do a lot of commenting. But I'm here to answer questions and talk about eBay reselling. And I'm trying this to obviously get more viewers and get more subscribers to my channel, although I think everybody on this list so far is subscribed to my channel. And I started the 101 this morning. Kind of got a little rambling because I tend to do that. I like to talk. And I'm going to go through each step of the eBay process from the beginning of starting an account all the way up through to where you know what I'm doing and I'm already doing it. I always tell people that I don't know everything about eBay. I don't. When I started this journey, no pun intended, I sold just sports jerseys. And I did it part-time while I was in management with UPS. Most of that last 15 years was in sales for the freight division of UPS. And I know a lot about sports jerseys, so that's what I did. And towards the end of my time with UPS, I just wasn't finding many of them. So I started looking for other things. I got a little bit into the caps and watched some of the vintage cap shows on YouTube and learned a little bit about those. And of course, I know about football helmets and things like that. And y'all get on to me if I touch my hat too much. And Ready, Steady Sales, I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm talking about reselling, and I'm starting 101. Of course, that'll be on my normal show with my What Solds, but I'm willing to talk about anything y'all want to talk about. I may do these a couple of times a week. I'm trying to grow the hours of this channel. I've got just under 2,000. I need 4,000. And subscribers, I'm at 366, so I need 1,000. So y'all can help me out if you can. And if you know anybody that's getting into eBay reselling, tell them to tune in, and I will try to help them as much as I can to walk them through the, again, no pun intended, the journey to how to do this. And my youngest daughter went with us to the Highway 75 sale up in northeast Oklahoma and southeast Kansas Friday, and she's got a lot to learn about comping and about shipping, and that's all part of this thing. You know, you gotta know a little bit about all of it. None of us know everything. We learn as we go. You hear me when I give the transparent figures. Sometimes I lose a little on shipping. Sometimes I gain. Sometimes it's buys that I shouldn't make. And sometimes it's home runs. I mean, I had that a couple days ago, some big home runs. And I've got some decent sales. I've got 5 or 6 sales today. And a couple of those are from the Highway 75 sale. When you buy a new product and you put it on eBay, it goes to the top of the algorithm. Yeah, I'm trying to say it. And so the new stuff is going to the top and people are seeing it. And if you do it buy it now, which a lot of my stuff is buy it now. I only do buy it now when I kind of have an idea what it's worth. When I don't have a clue and I think it may be worth a lot of money, I'll run an auction to see if it'll go higher and higher and higher. And sometimes I'm just totally surprised. Sometimes it's it's not so good. I never start anything at 99 cents like a lot of people do and find out, well, it's sold for 99 cents and I had $2 invested. No, I'm not doing that. I wouldn't even start it at probably $9.99 would be the lowest I'd go on anything just to run an auction. And I did a few today. I did another 20 listings today. That makes 84 I've done in the last 3 days. I did 33 2 days ago, 31 yesterday, and 20 today. And I sourced today. I said I wasn't going to do it, but it's old man discount day at Goodwill. I walked in and they had some vintage clothing, a little bit of clothing, not much, a ton of Funko Pops. And when I looked at them, one of them was worth $45 to $50. So they were $258 with the old man discount. So I grabbed them all and I've got them listed. And we'll see how that goes. I mean, I spent like $51 and just one of those Funko Pops will give me my money back. Hey, Nate, welcome to the show. You know what? Everybody's waiting at another stream. I didn't know I had another stream. Maybe I started the wrong stream. Boy, there goes your first time, isn't it? I'm going to back out of this, folks, and run to the other. I don't know how to go to the other stream. Alyssa's blipping. Hey, Nate, is there a way to tell people that I'm on this one, or should I go to the other one? Y'all are glitching. I wish you'd do that, Nate. I appreciate it. I didn't know that me setting it up, it would have to go on that one. I just started a live stream. Boy, talk about a rookie here. Wonder how many people are waiting there. Well, hell, I'm back. Well, you're always back, Man Mountain Link. I appreciate you. Am I glitching with you, Man Mountain Link? Lissa and Journey say I'm glitching a little bit. So I don't know if I am or not. I know there's a delay, and it's not because you're far away. I had to restart. Oh, I see user error. You are. Hit the like button. Hit the like button? Oh, okay. Well, I hit the like button. Are you telling them to hit the like button? Nate, how many people are on the other stream? Oh, okay. Well, I kind of knew that, Man Mountain Link. I've seen your videos. I know you glitch and you have a hard time uploading. Hopefully they join this one, Nate. Papa Sticks, I apologize. This is my first live, and apparently I had one scheduled and I started one, so I apologize. I appreciate you joining. I'm not familiar with Papa Sticks Treasures, but welcome to the channel. And this is my first live talking show. I did a test earlier, and oh boy. So it says I'm cutting in and out, and I hate that. Oh, MML was swearing up a storm. My man, I tell you. Well, what I was talking about before y'all joined was doing the 101, and I know a lot of the people that just joined aren't new eBay resellers. There were some people that were talking about that had commented on my video the last few days about some of the things being a new eBay reseller. And I'm going to, hey, Mandy, that's my niece in California. And thanks for joining. And you can tell me if I'm glitching too. Mandy works at Lowe's, and apparently she had a couple of spills, got hit in the head and hurt her leg. And like, I don't know if you should be working at Lowe's if you can't stay away from all that injury stuff. Maybe they're hiring as a president of a bank or something. You could get that job. I dropped some gems in that last stream. Crying shame. Oh my goodness, Journey, you didn't miss nothing. If he's cussing, he can cuss on this channel too. Don't do that though. Don't want to get me banned on it already. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm going to try to do the 101, eBay Reselling 101, just for the people that have never done it and are interested in getting into it. I've got my youngest daughter kind of started on the journey, again, no pun intended, and she's got a lot to learn about the shipping aspect. And as I said, yeah, she can join my fantasy team, Nate. That's funny. Yeah, I like that. Haha. Anyway, I'm going to try to teach people how to do this and make money at it, and hopefully not do some of the things that some of us have done where we bought things that we shouldn't have, like Beanie Babies and newer Hot Wheel things and stuff. It's more the unique stuff. When I go to the Goodwill outlet bins, for those of you who don't know, those are the places where Goodwill disposes of their stuff. Most of the time it's stuff that doesn't sell in their store, but when the lockdown ended, people were just donating like crazy. And some of that stuff, they were just sitting down there. So you were finding some really good stuff. And I've sold some really, really good stuff out of those places. And it's not like the bins where Tesla goes or Harry Tornado goes, where they're paying $5 and $6 for Amazon returns. This is donated stuff, pots and pans, clothing, appliances, small appliances, DVDs, video games, anything you can think of. And I've sold some fur coats out of there. I've sold Lennox Jewel Collection nativity sets out of there. An Austin Ice Bats Central Hockey League jersey for almost $200 that I paid like $3 for. You got to dig for the stuff, but our bins is pretty good. I haven't been there probably in over a month because I've just been yard selling and estate selling and doing these highway sales and community sales. And as if any of you watch my channel, you know I source too much. And this week I decided to really get in a groove listing. And as I said early on, I've listed 84 items in 3 days, 20 today, 31 yesterday, and 33 the day before. I'm trying to get all that Highway 70 stuff. 13 Americans all looking up at an Aussie in the #1 slot. Oh, okay. Yeah, Nate's referring to our fantasy football league. He blew away the league this week with the most points, and I don't know. He must be using some kind of a cheat codes or something to find these people. I don't know. But anyway, back to what I was saying is I source a lot, and I need to slow that down. But I enjoy, as a lot of you probably do, the sourcing. And I know some of you don't get to source. You don't have the opportunities. I hear Kevin talk about it all the time about the lack of it, but he seems to find some pretty good stuff. Now, MML, I'll tell you that I don't see you do a lot of yard selling. And I would think you, I mean, I'm sure you probably do, but I don't see it in your videos. It's mostly retail arbitrage. And there's nothing wrong with that. You do really good with those beverage things. But I love the yard sales. And I realize people like Rally Roots, where they buy retail arbitrage in bulk and they buy all these coffee makers and stuff like that. Hey, that's a good model for them. Fortunately, I don't need that model. I'm older, and I'm not, I mean, I work a lot of hours, and this is hard work. It's probably harder work doing it the way I do it, but I'm more into going and finding the unique stuff. Hey, Terry, thank you for joining the channel. I appreciate it. And I apologize for the other channel. I guess I had it scheduled, and I didn't know I had to go on that one. I just started one at the time, and I guess I blew the first one. I'm a rookie at this. But anyway, back to what I was saying is I enjoy finding those home runs and learning what's out there to be bought, because you're going to come across that stuff. So I just love sourcing. If I could source every day and I had somebody listing and inventorying and taking the pictures and doing all the research and shipping, I would be a resourcing machine and probably make a ton of money. Not that I don't make good money now, but as any of you that don't know, most of you that watch that are on this channel right now, other than maybe Papa Sticks, I am retired UPS. I spent 35 years in the trucking industry, and the last 20 was with overnight transportation based in Richmond, Virginia / UPS Freight, which they bought us in 05. And I was a terminal manager in Phoenix, Arizona. And then I came here the week they bought us, and I went into sales, and I stayed in sales till I retired 2 years ago. And so I get a pension, and I live off that. This money is extra. And just like I told people today in my What Sold video on the first 101 is this is what gives your family and you, if you're by yourself, money to go do things, to go travel to, as we do, Maui and go to places and do extra things, buy extra cars or a nicer car or a house, whatever. All these, oh, well, Papa Sticks, I appreciate that. I didn't know that. I don't see your comments on my channel, so I didn't know that, but I appreciate it. And so I won't get into my history. I'll just tell y'all what I'm doing. And again, I'm trying to grow this channel, trying to get the hours. I need 2,000 hours to get 4,000. I still need over 600 subs, so I'm a long way from that. And I know it ain't much money when you get to 1,000. I'm just trying to, do it myself. So not all the other channels, you got to almost buy something to get them to shout you out. And hey, it is what it is. I try to be different with Mr. JT. We try to be unique and different than everybody else. I'm not the editor, and that some of them are. Nate's gotten really good with that. And if you haven't checked out Drifter Thrifters, check him out. I like to watch other channels, but I really support the ones that support my channel. And those people like MML and Drifter Thrifters have been with me for a little while, and I talk about them a lot, and we kind of pick on each other. But I also feel like it comes both ways, and we help each other because we are a community, and I hear other people talk about it. And some of them have them on their shows and stuff. And some are better than others, in my opinion. Some are better pickers than others. And some buy a lot of retail arbitrage. Again, there's nothing wrong with that if that's how you want to make your money. But I try to I don't do a lot of editing, and I'm trying to learn that aspect of the editing and going to the yard sales because I know people want to see it. But again, I'm trying to be different. I'm trying to, you see my videos and all the mistakes I make and what I say or do in the video. Sometimes you catch me with my mouth moving when JT's talking. I don't know how that works. But I'm trying to be different than everybody else because a lot of people do a lot of the same things where they go and pick the item. And I've tried to change that up a little bit too. So again, it is what it is. It's my first video, and I thought maybe we would just chat and see kind of who's in here and what's going on, trying to grow the channel, get the hours, and then talk a little bit about eBay reselling. I'll answer any questions anybody has if you have them. And Steve is watching now too. JT makes you different. Oh, Steve says, yes, he does. And I stumbled upon him in a Goodwill, and my grandson actually absconded him. And when I decided to go do this, I asked him for it back. And of course, I gave him Richard Simmons the other day. So he gets a lot of stuff. He loves to go yard selling because he knows he's going to get stuff. And we like to pick on each other. And I don't script any of the stuff that JT and me do. We do it just from the hip. He starts talking, and then things pop in my head, and we just go. And things pop in his head. And, you know, that's what I have fun with. That's why I get chuckled, because I'll say something, and then I realize it's funny, but I'll start laughing and chuckling, and y'all know my laugh, you know. So we don't script much of anything other than the parody that we did on Lonnie on Shed Flips, and Kevin from Commonwealth, we did his, and then we did Froggy Flips. I haven't done Cincinnati's or Teslas. I've kind of had mixed feelings about it. They didn't really take off. And, you know, again, it is what it is. I'm just trying to try different things to see if I can pop this thing. And yeah, thanks. We're both funny. JT teaches me everything I know. So what does Journey say? I have a what is it? Can a seller offer free shipping, but only to the lower 48 states? No, you can offer free shipping, but if you go through the GSP, say it's international, then it's just going to be free shipping to Kentucky in answer to that question. Now, if it's Hawaii or Guam or any of those places, the postal charges aren't really that much different. I ship to Puerto Rico, Hawaii quite a bit. I've shipped to Guam. I've even shipped to the Marshall Islands. And all that is typically first class or priority. If it's a flat rate, it's still going flat rate to Hawaii or Puerto Rico or even Guam. If it's first class, it may just be a little bit because it's further out, like Washington State, for me, is one of the higher places to ship to. But no, in answer to your question, no, free shipping, it's not going to charge. It's not going to be that much. And if it's international and it goes through the GSP, free shipping is just going to be to Kentucky. So it's not going to be much. So I don't offer a lot of free shipping. I do it on higher items if they're small and I've got $100 profit in it. I don't mind eating $5 or $6 or even $12. If it's something heavy, I've learned, especially electronics that are untested. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't want that baby back. And I also quit doing free returns. Some of my older stuff is still out there, but when I see a watcher and I do an offer, I change it to buyer pays before I send the offer on returns. And I tell you what, it has reduced my returns because during lockdown, I was having, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 a month. And it was mainly, I mean, there were some of the people didn't even open the package. They just returned it, or they changed their mind, or it didn't fit on clothing. So now I've always put measurements in mine, armpit to armpit on shirts and length. And then on pants, I always did the waist and the inseam. And now the women especially are asking me for rise. And I didn't even know what rise was. I had to look that up. So that's from the belly to the snaps down to the bottom of the zipper area. And now I put some of that in there. So since I quit doing free returns, my returns have drastically changed, and I don't get hardly any. So yeah. I guess Lissa's backing out. The glitching is bad. I don't know if her internet's bad or mine. Yeah, Drifter Thrifter, we definitely need to get Mr. Ed or Jeremy talking like Mr. Ed. But I think it's going to be hard for you to get your hand in his back. Now, I could be like Man Mountain Lake and tell you where that hand should go to get to that back, but then that wouldn't be a friendly, family-friendly show. But that'd be funny. That'd be funny. Not that if you've got a cow and you had to doctor them. My brother, that's a year younger than me, was a real cowboy on a ranch, 3,000 head of cattle. And I always kind of envied him, even though I was in the transportation industry making good money. He didn't make a lot of money because cowboys don't make a lot of money. And anyway, he worked from sun up to sundown and doctored them and put his hands in places I wouldn't even want to put them. But he could ride a horse like nobody's business. And he, like I said, he didn't make a lot of money, but I envied his lifestyle. But he said, I'm just full of, mud and blood and crap and all that all day. And so, maybe it wasn't a lifestyle I like. And when I watch Yellowstone, I see how those cowboys, they work. And I'm like, yeah, it probably is a good thing I didn't try anything like that. I may be from Texas, but I ain't no cowboy. But we used to have a term for it in the 80s called drugstore cowboy. That's probably closer to what I was. Although I do love country music. What else we got? Trying to read these, and I don't know. I guess if I highlight one of them, I don't know if it. I guess I would have to figure that out, how to pop them up on the screen like people do. I guess I need to learn that too. What else? Anything anybody wants to know about eBay reselling or me? He's a farmer, one head of cattle. Oh, well, hey. You got more cattle than I do. I got 2 dogs, Mr. Pickles and Baby. And I've had Baby for about 14 years, and I've had Mr. Pickles, which is a Boston. Baby's a mutt I got from the pound as a puppy. And she's kind of a rat terrier mix and loves to chase squirrels and rabbits. And she is fast, and she plays soccer. Self-taught, can hit a ball up in the air with her nose. Just the craziest things. I've got some of that on my Facebook site, and then videos of it, and then and self-taught too. I didn't do any of that. And then Mr. Pickles I rescued from a town near me. Somebody had found him, and I don't know how old he is. He's kind of a mess. They're both like children. They want to go in and out all day long, and I wished I had a doggy door. I don't, but they're worse than kids with the screen doors. And Mama, when we were little, Mom always said, shut that screen door. You're letting the flies and air conditioning out. Well, these guys are worse than we ever were. But I love them, and they're both old. I don't know how old Mr. Pickles is. So, did I eat the other 3? Let's see. What do we got here? Stampedes are easier. Did you eat the other 3? Now's the time to learn, Bobby. Just start hitting buttons. We have a rescue dog and a cat. Yeah, I've got a daughter that lives in Blanchard, and south of me. This girl would have a zoo if she could. She has, as of today, 3 cats, 5 dogs, and a pig, and they all live inside. And she has a nice home, but she wanted a pot-bellied pig, and they don't stay little. So, and then she has one of them big banana spiders, or like that, those big yellow type spiders, and she doesn't kill anything. So that thing lives on her porch till it dies, and winter's coming. Unlike in Australia where winter's going away, it's going to start hitting us here in another month or so, or fall anyway. It don't get real bad in Oklahoma. We get ice storms probably more than we get snow, and we've had some bad ice storms since I've lived in this house for 8 years. I'm reading these notes. 2 horses, 1 cow, 3 dogs, 2 cats, and 20 chickens. Yeah, I saw Carms, Nate's wife, Drifter Thrifter, made an orange cake today, and it was pretty cool. She did everything by hand. I guess he needs to get her a blender or a mixer, because she was doing it all by hand, and she's a chef by trade, and I think from what I can tell, a pretty good one, although they make things I've never even probably heard of. And their pumpkins are a different color than ours. That's kind of weird. Theirs are green and ours are orange. But anyway, they have chickens, and she was using the eggs from that because they're not freeloaders anymore. And again, you'd have to watch her channel to understand that. And Mr. Man Mountain Link, I don't know how many cats he has, but I'm not sending him any in a box. Hopefully he's using the mallet on them, and he's probably scaring them to death with that noisemaker I sent. And if Captain Kirk was in here, I'd show him my new toy. Yeah, I could be on Star Trek. But anyway, yeah. Man Mountain Link's all his are rescues. And hey, that's the way it should be. We should rescue animals versus buying them. But I know some people want the purebreds, and nothing wrong with that. I've got a brother down in Texas that has it's like the Budweiser dog. They're bull terriers, and he rescued it from a pound. I can't believe somebody had that at the pound, but Andy is like his buddy. They're at the park every morning at 5 a.m., and my brother's 52, 53 and runs like 5 miles a day, and he's the training manager for the city of Round Rock, Texas, and he got his start. Well, he went in the Navy after I did. He served on the Enterprise, and he became he was a lead singer in a heavy metal band for years. And some of his YouTube videos are still out there, but it's heavy metal, not death metal. It's heavy metal. And then he got into training, the speaking thing, the Toastmasters. And then he became a training expert and went to college, got his bachelor's and his master's. And for a mama that raised 4 boys single, and we grew up mostly in trailer parks, we were pretty poor when I was a kid. And none of us ever went to prison. And Mom did a pretty good job. My mom was a union meat wrapper for Safeway until Safeway closed. And my mama took care of us, and she watched out for us and tried to keep us in line as best she could as a single mother. But we turned out all right. And I got 2 brothers in Texas, and two of us live here, and my mama lives here. And I think y'all saw the other day, I never knew my real dad, but I found him through DNA on Ancestry a few years ago. And I have 3 older sisters. And one just moved from California to Waco, Texas. I got one in Wichita, Kansas, and one in Southern California. And they're all older than me, and I have 3 younger brothers. So there you go. Now you know my personal stuff. As soon as Bobby's done, he's going to post a video. So y'all check out Nate Drifter Thrifters. And if you haven't subscribed to him, subscribe to him. He's got 89 last I saw. Man Mountain Link got another one, so he's up to 182. Help their channels out. And if any of you have channels, let us know. I will always subscribe to anybody that subscribes to me. Some of the bigger channels, and I won't name names, but some of the bigger channels that I do watch sometimes, if they're not subscribed to me, I don't subscribe to them. And it's maybe that's childish, but you try to get everybody to help you, and they've helped some other channels, and I'm trying to get them to help me, and I'm trying to make this go. And hey, it is what it is. And some of them I have subscribed to. I love Kevin. I do watch Lonnie a lot, and I watch Cincinnati a lot. Some of the other guys I watch hit and miss. And I've learned some from some of them. I've taken notes from some. There's I forgot her name, but it's a stay-at-home mom. She does a lot of clothing, and I've gotten some big names like Lululemon from her. Although I've never found Lululemon, I find LuLaRoe, and LuLaRoe's not as valuable as Lululemon. Today, when I thrifted at the Goodwill, I found a U.S. Navy, and it's a Bradford Exchange leather jacket, and it's a 2XL. It's my size, but it's got an aircraft carrier and an eagle on the back, and it looks like it goes for about $75. I gave a little over $10 for it. And then I found a Funko Pop Suicide Squad's like athletic jacket. I paid $6 and change for, and that goes for about $40. So, and then I found some Pokemon and a couple of video games and some Pokemon. I mean, not Pokemon, Funko Pops. And one of them is about a $50 Funko Pop. So that's a good deal. And there's a community yard sale south of me, about 20 minutes or so. I'm going to hit that Friday. And I don't know what about Saturday yet. I'm still trying to get listings and get all this stuff moved that I bought. And I've worked through a lot of the Highway 75 stuff. I was shocked that I only spent $155. It rained a lot of it. And, it was muddy in some of the places, but found some good stuff. You saw some of the video, and I'm sorry, some of it was turned sideways. Karen's trying. We're trying to figure this thing out. But this was probably the best of the ones we've done so far. And we'll work on it. She's figured out how to edit and pop the words in. We're not up at Nate speed yet, or Man Mountain Link's speed with their music and their editing, but we're working on it. And again, I'm trying to be a little different. And when I do my videos every day, they are straight from the hip. There's very little thought goes into it prior to, unless I'm doing a parody on somebody, then I have to put a little thought into it to try to do it where I'm not being offensive, but I'm kind of poking like Lonnie's. I think Lonnie's is probably, everybody loved it the best, just because this old guy was running back and forth. JT had me wore out. And it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And I laughed, but I huffed and puffed. And for those of you who don't know, I went on keto last year in February, and I lost 60 pounds. I was wearing 4XL clothes. Now, during this lockdown, Cap Guy's gotten stupid and put about 25 back on. So I got to get back on it and get this weight off. But I did lose it, and I felt so great. And I've got to get back out there and doing it again. I've got to get off the fast food. And I don't drink soda pop other than diet, Dr. Pepper. But I was drinking a lot of Coke and Dr. Pepper before. And I do drink 1 cup of coffee a day. And Nate, yeah, I saw you spent $180 at one shop in Goondiwindi. And by the way, I love Australia, and I love the guys in the UK, Dig It Mart and Digger's Den, Tyson Fury. They've been commenting, and I know MML talked to them at first, and I went out and tried my hand at it. And I looked up those, the ones in the Highway 75 sale. I looked at those ones that are on the table. They were on $500 for one of those. And when I saw the video back, I looked it up because I didn't look it up while I was there. I already had 4 of them. Why would I need another one? And those things go for about $700. So I should have negotiated, maybe got them down to $200 or something, and tried to. Anyway. Remember, someone did a parody of you, First Mate. Somebody did a parody of me? Oh, yeah. Drifter Thrifter did. Hurt my feelings, too. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. And Man Mountain Link pokes at me, too, quite a bit. So, hey, when you poke at me, I'm poking with you. And sourcing is my favorite part, too, there at Thrifting. It's funny how I knew where you were. I've got a good friend that worked for me when I was a manager in Arizona. His name's Steve, and he's still with UPS Freight. He's a kind of a trainer now, but he was a dock supervisor when I was a manager out there, and he had moved from Pittsburgh with his wife, and she was from Maine, but he graduated from, I think it's Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh. Big Steeler fan, still lives there. We were chatting yesterday, and so I know all about them 3 rivers, and that's when I knew. I said, well, she's got to be in Pittsburgh. So anyway, I do know my geography pretty well. I've been around the world. In 4 years in the Navy, I went to every continent in the world except for South America, and the closest I got to it was the Panama Canal. And I have never been to Antarctica, of course. But I loved Australia. Was the West Side, Fremantle, and Perth. Spent 5 days there. Loved it. Loved the people, and they love Americans, and they love the British. And I love the British people. My genealogy by ancestry is about 86% British and Irish. So, and that's from blood. That's not from me knowing mama saying we were Indian and all that stuff. It is. I'm not adjusting no cap. I'm trying to stay away from that. Yeah, there we go. And, oh, by the way, Terry wants to know my favorite thing to find at thrift stores. Right now, it's those HP calculators. Those are big time money. I always like finding good. I mean, I'd love to find vintage concert shirts. High-end video games. My favorite thing, I don't know. I mean, stuff that's easy to list and ship is the best. And clothing, especially jeans and T-shirts, those are so easy to ship, probably better than anything. Mary Kay, that's another one. If anybody else goes out of business like Stage and Bells and Gordman's, I'm definitely going to buy a bunch. Now, I'm not going to do what Lonnie did or RVA flips and spend 14 grand, but I will probably spend $1,000 or $2,000 to buy some, because if y'all watch my channel, and most of you on here do, that Mary Kay has done pretty good for me. So Mary Kay is a good brand, and I'm definitely going to Terry found Mary Kay today. What was it? Foundation or moisturizer or a mask? Or, I mean, I've learned about women's makeup too. And no, I don't wear very much, MML. I know you're going to come back with that. I only wear it at night, and you don't see me. So, let's see. They were fresh out of ketos. MML. Oh my goodness. Yeah. By the way, when we go to Maui, we've been to Maui 3 out of the last 4 or 5 years. We've been to the Big Island, and then we've been to the Bahamas and places. Karen has free passes on American Airlines, so we get to fly standby, and that's how we get to afford to do some of the stuff. And anyway, Maui, I love. It's probably my favorite of the islands I've been to. And I went to Oahu a couple of times, 3 times when I was in the Navy, but it's just too crowded. Maui is a little more expensive, but we just love it. Kahana Village, Kahana Village. Look it up, and you can. It's not open yet. It's still closed due to COVID, but they have you can do a live cam. Click on it, and you can see the live view towards Lanai, the island across. It isn't very populated. It does have people on the other side of the island. But you can see a live view at any time, day or night, of the water, and that's where we stay, in those condos. And then we go grocery shopping when we first get there. And we always take family. So there's usually 6 or 7 of us that fly over there, and we stay for, anywhere from 5 to 14 days. My brother's been, all my kids have been. And anyway, it's just a blast. And the road to Hana, and nothing to do with Terry there, it's the road to Hana on Maui, is awesome. And every time we've been, it's like a 12-hour day through these windy roads. There's like 350 curves and 53 single lane bridges on this island on the southeast side. It's jungle like, and it's just awesome. And that's where Charles Lindbergh is buried, on that part of the island. But anyway, that's pretty cool. We always enjoy it. And like I said, Kahana Village, if you ever go there, stay there. It's the best place. Winter's the most expensive time, because that's when the whales are there. And but I know Nate's been to the U.S. and been to Canada and lived in Canada. That was pretty cool. He lived in and I lived across for 6 months. I lived on Lake Ontario in Oswego, New York, as part of my career. And in the winter, and lake effect snow for this Texas boy, 220 inches in one winter. That's way more snow than I ever want to see again. But I lived on Lake Ontario and never went to Canada. Yeah, so, and I've lived in Albany, and I've lived in South Carolina, stationed there. Went to boot in Orlando, boot camp, and I've lived in Beaumont, Texas, Dallas 2 times, and I've lived in Phoenix. I've lived in San Diego, Coronado's where my carrier was, and then Austin and here. I've been here a few times. My family, a lot of my family on my stepdad's side were from Oklahoma, and I lived here as a little boy and started school here, and then went to Kansas where I was born, and then we went to Texas when I was in 7th grade and kind of stayed there and was raised there. All my girls, I have 3 girls. They all live here, my grandkids, and they live near me. One lives about 2 blocks away, and the others live south of me about 40 minutes, and probably about the same in Norman. And they each have 2 kids, boys and girls each. And then my youngest daughter has a little boy, and she's pregnant, and she wants a girl. And hopefully that's the last grandkid, because I'll be gone by the time these kids get grown up, if the way it's going. Yeah, it's funny. Funny story. When I was in the Navy, we were in Perth, and me and a buddy of mine from Illinois, who now lives in Austin, Texas. We were taking cabs. We rented a condo for 5 days. We took leave. We'd been at sea for like 40 days straight. We just come from Mombasa, Kenya, in Africa, and couldn't wait to get to Australia. And of course, this is 1982, early February of '82. And we decided we were going to rent a condo, take leave, and we were going to be civilians for 5 days. And so during the day, we went to the community pool, we went to the malls, and it was, of course, in February is their summer, and it was hot there. And in the cab going to the discos at night, which is where we went, I remember the taxi cab driver was yelling out, "Hey, these Pelicans from these Americans are driving on the wrong side of the road." And I'm thinking, we drive on the right side of the road. But we were in Australia. They drive on. And when Nate and them, or even the people in the UK or other places, are driving on the other side, I always think, well, I might have a problem with that. I mean, because you're just going to get confused since you do it all the time. But hey, again, yeah, 3-hour flight from the East Coast. And Perth is, I mean, outside of Perth, it's the desert and the outback. It's not, I don't think it's very, the geography isn't very, it's more arid than it is where Nate is. Nate's area looks more farmland and kind of a little bit mountainous. And I know Northern Australia is more arid, and that's the true outback, I guess. I've watched some pretty good documentaries on the Northwest coast where a lot of the migrations of birds and things like that have come in. That's pretty cool. I love that kind of stuff. When we go to Hawaii, I always do a lot of research and watch those Pacific shows. And Hawaii, if those of you don't know, is the most isolated islands in the world, in the largest ocean in the world. So pretty cool. But and Mad Mountain Lake, he's on the silver. Perth Mint makes some fine silver rounds. I bet you don't get those free like you get from that one guy that sent you that box full of a little bit of everything. Tell him if he wants to send me some stuff, he can leave out the little paper clips and stuff and just send me the silver. That'd be good. And you can get the rest of that stuff so you can talk about it. But anyway, I guess y'all can all see what each other is saying to each other. Do I need to read all the comments? I think, again, I'm learning. But I got 10 people in here. Woo! Man. Should I do like a listing video? I mean, no, I'm kidding. I don't want to be distracted when I'm doing this. I ramble enough. And when y'all get tired, let me know. I'm going to run this thing for a little bit longer and just kind of see. Like I said, I wanted to do my first one. And as I said earlier, for those of you who weren't in here, I'm going to do these maybe a couple times a week, and I'll probably have people come on. Like, I want to try to get Nate on here because we're going to do a live together. And I don't know if MML wants to. You don't ever want to show his face. But maybe he can put Bob on here, and then we can do a video, and we can talk about sardines and stuff that he finds. Of course, he probably eats all that stuff he would find. So I don't know if MML gives his cat sardines. I mean, it looks like they eat groundhog or moles and stuff. We have groundhogs and prairie dogs. So anyway, I don't bet you don't have prairie dogs in Tennessee there, MML. Any questions? Anybody want to know anything? Journey's probably the only one that's asked an eBay question. Oh, I've never had a Vero on my Mary Kay stuff. No. And I don't say it has, I have to say it has hook and latch in it. But there's no hook and latch because there's no Velcro Mary Kay. Now, I have had some, though I got one pulled down the other day, and I think I might have mentioned it. I just sold the Beachbody Intensity thing. I just sold one, and then I put another one up that I find, and they took it down. So a Vero is something you can't, it's a copyrighted word that you can't use in your listing, like Velcro and Beachbody, things like that. And I'm going to need a moderator with this rowdy group. Yeah, they're really rowdy. Thank you, Ready Steady Sales. I think if I remember right, you may be down in like Alabama or somewhere. I hope you're safe down there. I know that they got a bunch of rain. I don't know how far inland you may. Well, I think you were at the coast not too long ago. But anyway. Oh, okay, good. Thank you, MML. I'm glad you can read the chat. I got to figure out how to pop up and highlight people's stuff on here, like some people do. Hey, the cat guy's in the house, that kind of stuff. He has a face for radio and a voice for radio and a voice for newsprint. Well, since you were a wrestler, those of you that didn't know, MML wrestled the Hulk in New York City and beat him. Of course, it's all staged, so I'm kidding. He fought Andre the Giant because he's about that size. I'm kidding about that. And some of you that don't watch wrestling may not know, when I was a kid, I watched the Von Erichs and Ivan Pumsky and Dr. X and the Sheep Herders and all those guys. Back then, they weren't all big bodybuilders. They were just big guys. And but it was always fun. And I just recently went through a bunch of my old stuff because I keep all my old stuff. And I found some old cards, like picture cards of the Von Erichs and Andre the Giant and all that. And I put them on eBay and I sold them. But hey, it is what it is. Not that everybody's interested in that. North Alabama. Okay. So just some rain. Okay. You just went to the beach. Okay. The Cap Guy, even though he loves Hawaii, I'm not a big beach guy. I spent 4 years on top of the water. I really could care less about salt water. Me, I prefer the plains of Oklahoma. And as boring as that may sound, a rolling hill. I lived in southeast Texas where the pine trees were tall and you couldn't see storms coming. Here, you can see a tornado from 20 miles away. And with our storm chasers the way they are in Oklahoma, we really have to worry unless it just drops down on top of you because we can see them coming. And the storm chasers are out when anything's possible, so we kind of know way ahead of time, and they interrupt the TV constantly. So anyway, I've been all over the U.S., but except for the Northwest. I've never been from about Michigan to the west, north of Kansas or Utah or California. I've never been to Oregon, Washington, Montana, Wyoming. I've been to Colorado, but only in the airport in Denver. I've never been through the state, and I want to do that. I'd like to try to get a train ride from Chicago across the west. Haven't done that yet. We've talked about it, but I don't know. The older I get, and it's really hard to get away from eBay. This is a 7-day-a-week job. And one of the things I learned the hard way was last year we went to Hawaii. I put my store on vacation, and I sold about 26 items in the 10 days that we were there, 8, 9, 10 days. And when I got back, I got dinged for late shipments because I had it on vacation mode. I thought I was good, but you got to move your handling times out. And I didn't know that. So I had to go to eBay. Back then they were open and you could talk to them. And they gave me like 3 months of credits for all that stuff. So my score came back up. And of course I'm a top seller now, but make sure you move the handling times out. But when you got 3,300 items like I do, man, that'd be hard. It's hard to get away from this thing. 7 days a week, like I said, and it's a lot. And I think I've got 5 or 6 sales, 7 sales today. I think I just sold something else. I've got my phone on silent. Audience is here. Oh, well, that's earlier. No, I got a message from somebody on eBay. That's what it was. And I sold a John Deere hat. Bought a ton of them, and I'm really surprised those camo brand new hats. No molded casings. Somebody just offered me $185 for 16 seasons of The Simpsons that I bought Saturday at a yard sale. I paid $50 for all the seasons of Family Guy, or not all of them, but about 13 of those, 14. All the complete series, 7 seasons of Star Trek Battle Star Galactica. The Weeds, which I'm keeping because I haven't seen all of it. So I took the ones I had and put them on sale. And then 2 seasons of In Living Color and then The Simpsons. And I had, I think, 16 to 18 seasons, or whatever there were, plus an extra 20 a season, which I sold that already too, and I listed it today. This guy just offered me 185, and I've got maybe between $10 and $15 invested in it. Should I take it? Yeah, I'm taking it. Yeah, I don't need anybody to tell me that. Yeah, $185 for Simpsons? You kidding me? Do people not just, don't they know we're, never mind. You won't spend the money, I'll sell it to you. I promise you. So, yeah. Karen, she sold a bunch of, what were they, Karen? Tell me what they were. She got a yard sale. She bought 7 or 8 Christmas collectibles for $2 a piece, I think. And she'd already sold one, so she has like $14 invested. And I think she sold it for $140. I don't know if the lady actually was here, so she's meeting her or was supposed to meet her. I don't know if she did that or not. She can comment and tell me if that happened. But if I sell The Simpsons, cherished Teddy's Village. Don't have a clue. I know about Linux collection, and I've got a bunch of that. And then I've got a bunch of Christmas ornaments I found at the bins, brand new in the box, and some of it's vintage stuff. And I'm going to throw that up here probably the next week or two. Get ready for Christmas, folks. It's coming. It's sooner than you think. So, but Karen, if I sell this Simpsons thing for $185, you ain't touching this. We have a little thing. Hey, I sold 4 items today. Well, I only sold 8, but how much do you make? Yeah, it's not a competition. It's just fun. And she's getting into it more and more too. And this thing's a bug. When you sell something really good, as y'all know, it makes you want to go do more. And again, it's part of it's supplementing income. I mean, I'm trying to make a decision next month whether I take Social Security at 62 or not. I'll be 62 in April, and April 2nd, for those of you who want to remember my birthday. And I'll be the big 6'2". And anyway, I debated on my pension because I took a bump roll on my pension, so I'll get a little bit less at 62 than I did at 59. And my Social Security would just make it the same. And now I'm like, I'm making so much money on eBay, I might want to just hold off on that and let it get a little bigger. Y'all can give your input if you'd like. I ain't made up my mind what I want to do. But do I want to go as hard as I'm going? I don't know. 7 days a week, this is hard, and I make videos every day. And I've debated many times to slow down on the videos as well. But I just enjoy doing them. I just really love having fun with JT and entertaining y'all and making you laugh and making myself laugh, because I do. Even though our jokes are corny, we try to stay kid-friendly. And one of the things I try to do differently on here is also when you make a comment, I'm going to comment back. I'm not just going to give you a little heart. And again, defending the people that have big channels, I know they can't respond to everybody. And probably Kevin does the best with that, Commonwealth Picker and Flipper, with commenting on some things. And I realize when you got 30,000 or like Cincinnati, 112,000 people watching you, or 103, whatever it is, you can't comment back on everybody. But I'm trying to do that just like in my eBay business with the customer service aspect. Again, I'll go back to my old school when I was a kid. When I was 16, I pumped gas, and I can remember at Shamrock running out to the pump. It's raining, and I'll take $1 worth of gas and check my tires there and clean the windshield, even though it's raining, and check the oil and the transmission fluid. And then do all that for $1, and then you run back in, and you got to take the card and you swipe it, and then take it back out, and they got to sign it. And I mean, it was $2.35 or $2.10 an hour back then, and I thought, but it was customer service. They pulled up, you did what they asked. Groceries, taking out your groceries, and there is a store in Blanchard that still does that here in Oklahoma. And when I was a dispatcher, when I first got it, Pure Later Courier was my first company out of the Navy. And after I drove for a while, I became a dispatcher, and people would call us and say, "Hey, is your driver still in the area? I've got a package." And when we went to centralized customer service later, as we got bigger, that all went away. And now you talk to people that are in another country. Sometimes you can't understand them, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, customer service has gotten to the point, and with eBay especially, you can't hardly talk to anybody. Now you got to do a chat, and even when you didn't do a chat, it was hard to get somebody. They make it so hard, and so even at UPS, I was in sales. A lot of times, our company would do things I didn't agree with, and I'm the one that's required to get the sales. And the year before I retired, I was in top 3% of the company in sales. But the next year, obviously, your goals go up like everything. What have you done for me lately? And the stress was huge, and you don't get to control the service part of it. You just control getting the freight on the truck. And then, well, we didn't make the pickup today. Well, they called for a pickup. They had a truckload. Well, we didn't go get it because we were too busy. Well, I'm required to get sales, and I'm getting them, but you can't go get the freight. So when I got into this, I said, you're going to control your own customer service. And for me, customer service is I ship every day. I ship fast. I've had packages delivered faster than Amazon. Now I realize that I'm relying on the post office to do that, but I'm getting the packages out every morning after I make my video. I get my packages go to the post office, and even the stuff that I sold that morning, if I can grab it handily, I go grab it and get it out of here. And especially the closer to the weekend it gets, freight, not only in trucking but in small package, still moves over the weekend, even though those transit days may not count. Now USPS Saturday it does, but with other carriers it does not. And so I've shipped stuff here on a Friday, and it's been in Pennsylvania on Monday. When if I'd have shipped it Monday, it might have been Friday before it got there. So you got to keep those things in mind, and that helps when people say, well, I don't get a lot of feedback. Well, I get a ton of feedback, and I don't leave feedback until you leave feedback for me. So if you buy something from me, I don't give you feedback until you leave it for me. And I think that may be part of it. When people leave feedback, then they don't feel obligated to leave you feedback. And so I find it better the other way. You might try that, and maybe it'll help your feedback. I have over 4,000. I get about 100 feedback a month, and I sell 300 items a month. So, I mean, you tell me. But anyway, it's just a thought. It's not, it is eBay related, but still got 10 people in here. Anybody else got anything before I shut this thing down? I've been going an hour. Should I say good night, John Boy, and good night, Mary Ellen and Grandpa, and can y'all tell me the rest of them? I know y'all watch the Waltons. And by the way, most of the people that watch my videos are in my age group, 50 to 64 plus. So I know that. But that's okay. I like that. Because when I talk about older things, like my favorite show of all time as a kid, Leave It to Beaver, y'all understand me. So, I heard I was in Goodwill and they were playing music, and it was a John Cougar Mellencamp song today. And I asked the little girl behind the counter, I said, you know who that is? She goes, no. I said, you don't know who John Cougar Mellencamp? My favorite dinner. That's a good one, Terry. I'm a food lover, and I'm not a picky eater. I love vegetables, except Brussels sprouts. I don't eat Brussels sprouts. I will eat spinach. I'd say it'd have to be probably, and you're going to laugh at this, my granny made the best biscuits and gravy I ever had in my life. And I love biscuits and gravy. I could probably eat it for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. And just a quick story. When I was in the Navy, stationed in Coronado, California, I went on leave, and I used to split my 30-day leave between Oklahoma with my grandparents and Oklahoma, or Austin, Texas, where my mom was. And so I spent 2 weeks in each place. And I typically drove home. So that's 24 hours from California to Oklahoma. I drove 16 hours one night after our ship came in. I drove to Phoenix, spent the night, and then drove 16 hours. And when I got to my grandparents' house, they lived out in the country near a lake in a dugout house. My grandpa had taken cinder blocks and built them into the ground, and then had earth coming over it. And just the front of the house was visible. My grandpa was deathly afraid of tornadoes. I am not, but he was. And so that was his safety net. Well, I got at the house about 3 a.m, and they let me in, and we did our hugs and went to bed. And about 6 or 7, my granny, I could smell the bacon and the biscuits and gravy. And when I got to the dinner table, she asked me, she said, son, why did you drive 16 straight hours to get here? I was worried about your safety. Why did you not just get a hotel and come in during the day? And I said, Granny, it's been so long since I've had your biscuits and gravy. I'm getting emotional here. And she never forgot that. She told that story for years. And I miss her. Give me a minute. Anyway, chicken fried steak, I'd say mashed potatoes. Chicken and dumplings is another one that I love a lot. I'd say those are probably the things that I like the best. They're all fried foods, unfortunately. I love fried squash, fried okra. I am a Southern boy, so that's what I like. Outside of the box, trying to think of what I like. I'm not big on foods that they're not an unrealistic threat. You're right. Ask Moore, Oklahoma. They've been hit so many times, it's unreal. And I lived there one time too. That's right. But the biggest tornado with the biggest winds was only about 5 miles from here a few years ago. As a matter of fact, my daughter lost her car in it, not to the tornado, but to the flooding. The tornado was the highest winds ever recorded in a tornado were at El Reno, Oklahoma, which is about 13 miles west of me. But the tornado did so many jogs, and typically they don't. They started around Union City, which I used to live in too back in the 90s. And in 1973, Union City was half destroyed by a tornado. It's only 500 people. But if you Google Union City tornado of 1973, it was the first actual video of a tornado. And the one in El Reno was an F5. And it's the first time TV people, the weather people ever said, get out of your house. If you're in a house, not a trailer house, a house, get out of there. And everybody listened and didn't have cellars or basements, and I don't, got out of here. And it was scary. It was scary. I had a daughter and my son-in-law and my grandson with me, and we went south of here and got stuck in traffic. And once we got south of that, we started going back west, trying to get behind the storm, and their sirens went off. So we had to go further south and then came in behind the storm, and we saw all the devastation. And it even killed some storm chasers. And I've always wanted to be a storm chaser. I love storms. But except for ones that take my tree and put it on my house. But yeah, they are scary. Typically F3s and above are really scary. They're not common. We haven't had a lot of bad storms here in the last few years. And, you know, a lot of them form in western Texas in the Panhandle and then move east with the fronts. And, hey, it is what it is. But I'm not afraid of them because they're just not – I mean, it's got to pretty much be right on you. And they're usually no more than a little bit wide. I mean, if they get a mile wide, they can be devastating, but then they probably have fives. They have wiped out more several times and killed a lot of people, so they're not something to sneeze at for sure. But again, our weather, I can't tell you, our chasers, every channel's got them, and they got tons of them, including helicopters. And if they're 200 miles away, they're already out there watching them develop. And as they move west, they've got trackers and tell you exactly when those storms are going to be here, if they're getting bigger, if they're getting smaller. The scary ones, I guess, would be the ones at night when you can't see them unless it's a lightning strike and you can see them. But, you know, I've lived here probably over 25 years of my life, and I've seen them, and I've seen 4 at one time, but I've never been hit by one. Now, I've been scared a couple times, but, you know, again, the town I live in, Yukon, has never been hit directly by a tornado. Maybe it's because Garth Brooks is from here. But Garth Brooks doesn't have a lot to do with Yukon, so a lot of people around here don't really care for him. I like his music, but he left here, and a couple of my brothers went to school with him. Yeah, I was crying for the biscuits and gravy. No, I mean, my granny told that story for years, and it touched her, so it touches me when I tell it. Paperwork from, yeah, and I've actually heard of that, where that's happened, Man Mountain Link, where things have fallen out of the sky miles away, and we've had some bad ones here. I'm not going to say we haven't, but I'd say Moore's probably taken the worst hits in recent years. Matter of fact, I left here in 1989. I think, no. 1996 to go to Beaumont, Texas. And the American Freightways, which used to be Arkansas Freightways terminal that I was an operations manager in, I got promoted to terminal manager in Beaumont. A year later, that 98 tornado hit more and went up through that area. And it was a 60-plus door freight dock and totally wiped it out except for the concrete pad and killed 2 of the drivers. And they were killed by flying trailers. Now, I'm talking tractor trailers. I'm not talking little trailers. This is a freight company, not the small trucks, the big trucks. And one was a city driver and one was a road driver. So, yeah, it wiped it out. I mean, completely. And they had to rebuild. So, yeah, tornadoes are tough. But, again, I'm not deathly afraid of them unless they're huge. And more so if it's dark. In the daytime, I know what to do. I mean, you just got to get out and go the opposite direction as fast as you can. And typically they move from southwest to northeast. So you just got to go southeast and hope it don't turn like the El Reno did. But, yeah, I hope I know y'all are going to get the rain and stuff. I hope it ain't. I know it's down to a tropical storm. Terry, I hope y'all don't get flooded. I don't know where you live in relation to the coast. But yeah, I rode a Hurricane David in 79 off the coast of Carolina for 3 days, and that was not fun. I was so sick, and I thought we were going to die. I did. It wasn't a very big ship. It was a Gata missile cruiser, and they're not very big. Not like the Carrier. We were in a typhoon, the Carrier in the South China Seas, and it barely rocked. I mean, it just wasn't that bad. But I'm more afraid of that, hurricanes and being on the water. And the bad thing with hurricanes is the tidal surge, and the flooding and the winds, I guess. But tornadoes, it's the winds too. It's the debris it throws. So anyway, I've been on here for an hour and 11 minutes. I think I'm going to shut her down. I appreciate everybody that came on. Most of you I know do follow my channel already. I'm going to do the 101 tomorrow. I may be a little bit late on the video in the morning. I'm going to hit a yard sale or two if there's any out there on the way to the post office. And I've got to do my shipping here in a minute. And but I'll make a video and then I'll do the 101. If you know anybody that's getting into this thing, have them tune in. And again, I appreciate it. And yes, I do have a tender heart, unfortunately. Heck, I credited ET when I was in the Navy on a date. I'll be right here. And I bawled like a baby. Another one, No Fault in Our Stars. Probably one of the saddest